In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my travel altar. I just moved house, so before we moved, I packed up a little travel altar for myself with all of the things, the essential things that I knew I would need, and I have set up a kind of temporary altar space in the new house since we moved, so I'm going to be sharing that with you today. So do stay tuned if you're interested to see my little travel altar. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. Again, today is a little bit casual because I'm still on my mobile phone. I still haven't finished unpacking all of the decks and all the books. Actually, the books are pretty much done, except there's one big stack that will not go on the bookcase. I will show you, but essentially I broke a bookcase. All of the books were just too heavy, and so one of my old bookcases is no more, so I restacked. And it's just like this ongoing unpacking saga, which is incredibly boring. But anyway, so rambling aside, I thought today I could share with you my travel altar. Now, before we moved, I decided to pack up some of the things I knew I would need, or that I thought I potentially might need. I don't have a travel altar that's always set up for myself. When I go away, I do have a little box that I tend to put some things in, but it's not very posh or anything like that. But I got myself a slightly larger box for this because I knew it would probably be several weeks, potentially months, before I was able to get everything out again and be able to access everything. And I will say, I think I was pretty good at selecting what I needed, and other things I have sort of found in the unpacking process. I haven't completely unpacked all of the boxes with the spiritual items and the altar tools, etc. But some of the things at like the top of the boxes have been unpacked, or, you know, certain items were included in other boxes which have been unpacked. So I do have a little bit more than what I first initially packed into the travel altar, because we've been living here now for a few weeks. So there've been a few other things that I've managed to unpack, but not everything, nowhere near everything that I usually work with. So I'm still working in a kind of minimal way, and I just thought I'd share that with you. So before I actually show you the altar, I just thought I'd share with you my little box, because like I said, it's a bit of a larger box. And as I said, I haven't done anything posh to it. It's just an old Net-a-Porter box. So I had some tissue paper in here, and I literally just put the items in here, and it has this nice little ribbon that I was able to close everything up with. So it was really, really simple. It's just a nice, good quality, sturdy box that I'm recycling basically. And potentially I would quite like to keep this as an altar box, but I would like to maybe decorate it, maybe put some devotional artwork inside for the Morrigan or something along those lines, you know, to make it a little bit more sacred, because at the moment it is just a black Net-a-Porter box. I was able to fit quite a bit in here though, so it was very, very useful. So I will turn the camera around and show you my setup now. So the tools have moved around a little bit. Every day they move around, to be honest with you. But this is a basic setup that I have. Now, there are a few things that came out that were unpacked that weren't in my initial travel altar, such as this. This is a jar spell, and that just happened to come out, so I thought I'd put it on to the altar. There were some other things like my Morrigan anointing oil, spell oil, which I have featured a video showing how I created this on my channel, so you can go and watch that. I will link it in the cards above. This and the Florida water back there, they were included in a kind of I need to be able to access this straight away box, but they weren't in that little black box because obviously being liquids, I wanted to just keep them away from everything. So I have my burner here. This is a lovely oil burner that I picked up from Glastonbury a couple of years ago, and so I always have this, and I always have my little soy wax tea lights. These are recyclable, decompostable caps that they come in, and I get these from Amazon. I can link these below. These are so fantastic. They're a little bit more expensive than your bog standard tea lights, but I like them because there's no nasties in them, you know. And so I always have those. So I included maybe like 10 of those in my initial box, but then I found the original box anyway, so I was okay. Then I have my two little scullies. This one has been with me for a couple of years, and this one was purchased this year. So this is an amethyst skull, and this one is a black tourmaline. I did want an obsidian, but I think that they only had tourmaline at the time, and I just fell in love with the energy of this one, and I actually think obsidian might have been a little bit too much. Also, I will say that this little altar space is currently in my bedroom space, which is not ideal for me, which I probably won't have it in here forever, but we are going to be putting wardrobes in, so things will be moved around. So then I have a beautiful shell that Rosalie picked up for me at a beach this last year. I have some blue lace agate there. I think this is apatite. My brain is literally fried today. Some rose quartz yoni eggs here. I don't tend to actually use them within the yoni. I more use them in baths and meditate with them, etc. I mean, you can according to, you know, what they were made for, but just I kind of prefer not to. So then I have some crow feathers here that I foraged over the years, you know. I have some wine here for the Morrigan. I don't have my Morrigan statue out, which is something I really, really wish I could find. I just have not located it yet. This beautiful red carnelian flame came in one of the most recent Witches boxes. This was the Fire Magic box, and it is so beautiful. It's got this incredible like cavern inside with this beautiful kind of smoky quartz. I'm not sure actually what else this could be. I'm sure Elena was talking about some of the specimens having other crystals sort of within the carnelian. So there are different crystals, I think, combined within, but it's just so beautiful and smoky. And I get this like this grounding element to this stone, but there's also this incredible like empowerment and like forcing you outwards. So it's sort of, I feel like it does both, and it's very, very powerful. But then there's something about these colors that just feel very aligned, kind of like womb healing and, you know, feminine embodiment. And that's something, you know, I've been working a lot on. And I think it's partly to do with the colors, but then also partly to do with this sort of reminds me of like under the water and like the underworlds. And it just feels like the perfect piece to meditate with, and it's just glorious. So this arrived, I think, just after we moved in. This arrived, so I've had this up here, and I just think it's fantastically beautiful. So I didn't actually bring this with me. This is the key to the cabinet that I'm going to be putting my tarot decks in. I mean, it's not really a key for anything, but I put it on the altar more in a kind of symbolic way. Then I have some beautiful amethyst. This is a beautiful cluster piece. This is a quartz crystal. Obviously, it's very, very cloudy, so it is not the easiest to scry with. I have a black obsidian crystal ball that's still packed up, that's easier to scry with, actually. But I do like to have this, and it is out. And this beautiful rainbow quartz crystal here. It's just stunning. Is it rainbow? Oh, angel quartz. I can't even remember. My brain is just fried at the moment. And I have these Marlebys. This was from the Love Magic box for the Witches box as well, which I can link below. I do work with the Witches box though, so I will just make that little disclaimer. This is a selenite wand I love, and this is a wand I crafted myself from some foraged wood, a fallen branch, and I sanded it down and painted it. And I used some gold. This is solid gold wire, and I wrapped up and attached a little quartz point to it. So it's very kind of roughly hand done, but I love it because it's personal. I've been picking up these beautiful chestnuts this week. We have a sweet chestnut tree near the school, and so I've been collecting these. I've been imbuing it with intentions for holding space for myself and nurturing myself, but bringing myself good luck and kind of fortune in a way where I believe in it. So it's that I'm not sabotaging myself. So I've been kind of imbuing it with that, and then I'm hoping it will sort of like open itself up, because I think it is already. So yeah, it's very, very, very beautiful and very spiky. But yeah, it is actually, this is the sweet chestnut, so this one is edible, which is glorious. I can't think where we have a horse chestnut near us, but I'm sure we do have some. So the horse chestnuts are not edible. They are the larger conkers, and they're not as spiky, but they have this kind of like scaly, leathery green skin to them, and they have these sort of like more separated spikes on them that aren't as spiky, not as prickly anyway. But yeah, I just thought this was beautiful, so I had it in my pocket as the kind of talisman on the school run, and it brings me comfort. So here I have these two little floral pressings that I think my mother-in-law did, and they fell out of one of the books, I think one of the little Collins field guides that she gave me, one of the flower field guides, but I can't remember what page it was, and I can't really figure out what that is, but I haven't tried to use a plant identifier app, so I could do that. I mean, someone might be able to tell me what it is. I can't really tell. It being dry, I find it really, really difficult to tell what that is, and I'm no expert anyway. I'm learning about plants and herbs. Then these are the Psalms. This is my grandmother's book, Common Prayer Hymns, and this was with her when she passed away, and my family thought that I would have it, and I keep it on my altar space and regularly work with psalms and stuff. either just prayer or work them into ritual spells and such. Obviously there's the mirror here. I always have a mirror on my altar because I do like to use mirrors in workings, so this is just a staple piece, but again obviously it didn't fit in the box. And this is just a piece of artwork that I used to have in the bedroom. It says dream. I thought it looked pretty there, so none of this is going to stay like this, as I said. This is my incense burner. This did not fit in the box, but I had a little flat mini one that just went into the box, so it sort of slipped into the side, so I was able to burn incense, you know, that first week. And I think I had a few sticks of some of my favorite incense, and then also Manuela from Place of Stillness sent me some. So in here at the moment I have, this is the rest of some Blade Over Shield, and then I have one, I think this is, I can't remember what the brand is called, but it's one of the other ones I use, but you can see like the stick isn't very strong, so it sort of always drops and then puts itself out, so I will have to finish that off eventually, but it's not finished yet. So I think I will put on some of the Blade Over Shield by Joey Morris. I haven't found any of my smoke cleansing bundles yet, so I've just been using my incense to cleanse the space essentially, but because it was a brand new house it didn't really need that much cleansing. The cleansing it really needs is just from us being tired and exhausted and frazzled. This is a candle holder that I recently picked up, so this again also wasn't in the box, and my larger candles, they're all still packed away, so it's candleless at the moment, but I thought this would be beautiful for candle working, so it's here. And so yeah, this is the little setup at the moment. It is not perfect, it's not the way I wanted it to look really, but it's a functional space that I can use. I often put my cards up here for the day, and everything I basically need in the meantime is here. And there's plenty of different kinds of crystals to work with as and when if I need to for meditation and stuff. So yeah, so this is the space at the moment. Okay, so I just thought I'd show you this little corner as well. This actually will be where we put one of our wardrobes. So when we agreed to purchase the house, the deadline to fit the wardrobes by the developers had already passed. We didn't realise that because we would have gone for that. So unfortunately we weren't able to get wardrobes in, but this is a little like alcove bit. So there's not much light that comes in naturally, and we will have some wardrobes that are completely fitted and that just slide across. So until now I've got one of my chests of drawers. It's got a really like messy top because I used to do quite a lot of spell work and stuff on here, but this is just where I am putting my makeup on in the mornings and where I've got the decks that I'm currently working with at the moment out. I have some decks in the other room where the books are, and the other decks are as well, like that are just hanging out that I've worked with a couple of times, but I just didn't want to keep this too cluttered. This is the Darkness of Light here, which I just started working with this season. I had this for a few months, but I wanted to do a walkthrough and then I never did, but so it's taken me this long, but I love it so much. The Tower of the Haunted House, this is one that I picked up this year because I could not get it, and Bronnie Kay featured it looking so beautiful on her Instagram, and I just had to have it. So Bronnie made me do it, even though I wanted it anyway, but it was Bronnie who made me just go for it. Murder of Crows Tarot, this is Corona Roy. I've had this now for about a year, I think, and it's one of my favourite decks to work with the Morrigan with. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. Seasons of the Witch, Samhain Oracle, this is obviously a favourite in the community at the moment, and I definitely want to get hold of the Yule one before that season begins, but I'm happy to work with this one. I've only actually worked with this maybe 3 times so far this season, so I'm not done with this. The Oak, Ash and Thorn, this has just got the most beautiful like autumnal feel, and I just love it so much, and it looks so beautiful. This is the Pythonic Tarot. I forget the name of the creator, but I will link it below. This is such a beautiful deck, and I do have a walkthrough of this on my channel as well. Chantilly Aura, I believe is the shop on Etsy. I will link it below. And of course, this is the beautiful Tree Whisper Oracle by Mags at the Woodland Hag, and of course Mags is back now. I'm so thrilled, and I believe Mags has a new deck coming out soon as well. I think it's the Secret Garden, and I would love to get that as well. I'm not sure when it's coming out though. So those are the decks that are out at the moment that I'm working with consistently this season, and I've got my rings on, but this is the necklace I wear pretty much every day, so it sort of lives there at the moment. But so it's nice just to have these so that I can reach for them as and when I need. So there's one other item that I brought with me in my little travel altar, and that is this flying ointment. And I had this beside my bed because I use this a lot. This is the flying ointment by Moon Cat Magic. And I love using this not just for astral travel and dream work and meditation, but I also really like to use it when I'm feeling stressed, you know, and when I really need to just come back down to center. And I have actually put this on quite a few times before I've gone out, like with the family, or to do things that I'm a little bit about. And it is just really soothing. It's really calming. I have made flying oils in the past, but I really would like to make an ointment because I have never ever made an ointment, so, or like a balm. So that is the plan to make, you know, after I'm settled. I'm going to get myself some organic soy wax, and I have some coconut oil and things like that. So shea butter, coconut oil, I think it's coconut oil that I probably use. Coconut oil, and then some wormwood maybe, and some mugwort and some other things. I'm gonna look at some different recipes. Obviously there are quite a few different recipes in some of the books that I've recommended on traditional and folk witchcraft, because it's a big thing in those paths, in those traditions, and it's something I'm really excited to do this season. Another thing that I'd love to do ahead of Samhain is manage to get my ancestor altar back up and running, but I only have about a week, so, and this will probably be coming out around Samhain, so I can imagine this is literally my Samhain video. It's my seasonal video, and you know, I'd love to do something a little bit more special, but I think that'll have to wait till next year. But getting the ancestor altar up is something that's really important to me. Also getting the Morrigan statue back out and having a little space that's dedicated for the Morrigan would be great. But I'm, you know, trying my best not to get stressed because there's so much to do, and with the kids and work and just life in general, since, you know, the pandemic, everything feels a lot harder for some reason. And so yeah, I'm just trying to go easy on myself a little bit and not try to put too much on my plate, and just give myself time to meditate and rest and stuff. I feel like really behind on my tarot journaling at the moment, and I like to journal all of my readings, so that can get pretty intense. I have recorded some before, so I think I might record a few just to take the pressure off, because by the time I sit down to journal, I'm just shattered and exhausted and I don't have much left in me. So yeah, I'm trying to sort of think of ways around those things, being able to still do the practice, but finding an easier way to sort of maneuver around obstacles and things. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. I just thought I'd share with you as well, these are beautiful tarot decks on the floor of the spare room where you would have seen the books last time. And so these decks are going away in a bookcase. Started last weekend but need to continue this weekend. Up here are a few little bits that managed to come out of the box last weekend, so a couple more of these feathers which I will distribute elsewhere. Little spell bottle I made there. This is my grandmother's, so it's just here. It's like one of the first pieces that came out that will be back on the ancestor altar. This is obviously my abalone shell for smoke cleansing. This is the piece of the beech that fell down in the field where we used to live, and this came with me. It's a protective kind of charm. Little witchy cat mascot, and a little broom that I got last year. I think that was from Poundland, and I just painted it. So the bookcase that got broken is literally right behind me, so I'm literally like pressed up against this bookcase, but I managed to restack the books in a way that I quite like, actually, on this family bookcase that came from Tim's parents' house, and I'm really happy with it. I've basically organised everything according to colour and size, in terms of the shelves being slightly different shapes. So on the bottom we've got the largest books, the tallest books. There are some books that are even larger that can't fit, so those are currently still just in a pile. But the rest are stacked here, and they're kind of stacked by size. But I wish that there was a way to organise them by colour and by topic and by size, but there's just not a way to do that. So this is, I think, about as close as I'm going to get. But for some reason, this particular stack makes me feel really happy. Something about the green and all of just that, oh my goodness, I love it. I love it so much, and this part makes me feel very happy as well. The blacks going into the reds, I love it. And the blues, my goodness, so nice. So yeah, this is my first attempt at colour coding a bookcase, and I think I really enjoyed it, actually. You know, it's quite a therapeutic process, other than it being like really stressful. So that about wraps up my really relaxed kind of vlog, witchy vlog, sharing with you my travel altar. And I would say it's a larger travel altar. It's like a long haul travel altar, if you will, because obviously I was intending for it to be for weeks, months, potentially. So yeah, that's why I did it this way. And I'm really, really happy with what I packed. I've not felt like I'm missing out on anything. Obviously I had a lighter as well. I didn't show you that, but it's one of those electronic chargeable lighters, very, very handy. And I will link as much of the stuff that I think is relevant that was helpful below. Also, I think what would be really, really nice in a future year or whenever it comes up is to do a little DIY, creating an actual travel altar box that is something special and sacred that I can use going forward, that's not just an old Net-a-Porter box. As lovely as it is, something that's a little bit more sacred, and I think I'd like to have some art in there, you know, that's sacred. And yeah, and also I've got, you know, you get these odd tarot cards that get sent to you with orders and things like that, and postcards can go in there, you know, things that look beautiful and evoke that sort of spiritual feeling and that aesthetic for me. You know, I can do that. I think that would be really, really fun in the future. And as for Samhain, because this is probably going to be going out, I will just share with you a little bit about what I'm hoping to do. As I said, I wanted to get the ancestor altar up. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, and if it doesn't, I will still spend some time with my dearly departed loved ones in prayer and in meditation. That I will have to do. But I think at the bare minimum, I will just have to dig out their photos, because I can't not have them. Even if they end up moving and I end up putting them somewhere else, I have to have them. We've got some pumpkins around the house, which you may have seen if you follow me on Instagram. I'll obviously link my Instagram and my TikTok below and on screen, so you can check that out and follow me if you'd like to see more from me. I post quite regularly sort of spiritual updates, sometimes spell work, reels and things like that, tarot readings, and I also share my astrological tarot reading prompts. So every new and full moon I do a reading, and I share my prompts with everyone on Instagram with a graphic, and the prompts listed below. So if you wanted to use that for your own full or new moon reading, you can. And that's something that I just have been doing for a while now, and I've found it so helpful for me. And then a few months ago I decided to start making graphics and sharing my prompts, because I thought it would be helpful to some people. So yeah, if you want to take a look at those and use those for your full and new moon tarot spreads, then please do. I went completely off topic there, but I have been sharing some of the decorations we've got. I've got some witchy little things in and around the house, but because there are still lots of things that aren't unpacked and still some furniture we need to get, and we're getting new sofas and stuff which aren't going to be delivered until December. We literally ordered them as soon as we moved in, and they're not going to be here until like the week before Christmas. So things just still feel a little bit unsettled. So I haven't put all the pumpkins or anything in the right place yet. I've just kind of plonked things in places. So I don't feel like it's really special enough to kind of share it. But if people want to see, then I will share some pictures over on my Instagram, because the pumpkins and, you know, the cats and the witchy things do look cute. You know, I love it. So, and my kids are so excited about Halloween. I think for Halloween, I'm definitely going to do some Halloween biscuits with them, because I did promise them that. We want to make some pumpkin pie and or pumpkin cake. We'll probably do both, but I don't know which one will come first. Also keen to make Annie the Green Witch's apple pie, because my hubby and I always make apple and blackberry crumble, because my hubby loves crumble. But seeing Annie's apple pie again, I remember she did it a few years ago and it looked amazing, but now she's like upped the recipe, like she's improved the recipe even more, and I was like, that looks immense, and I thought my hubby would really like that. So I'm thinking about doing that as well, but that's going to be a couple of days, I think. So that's in the plan, but that could be after Samhain. I'd like to do some spell work for Happy Home and sort of a blessing working. I also have a lot of protection work to do, wards and such around the house, which I have not got around to doing yet. So I feel like I'm kind of like, I've got this huge list of things I need to do, want to do, and it's not getting shorter, because the practical list, like the unpacking list, gets longer and longer as well. So it's juggling, and it's good though. You know, we're really happy in this house. It's a lovely house. So yeah, it's all really good change, and I'm definitely feeling very blessed. You know, I'm feeling that everything has felt very emotional though. Yesterday was the full moon in Aries, obviously in Libra season, and it's just been like a whirlwind with the aspects as well. During the full moon, it was just so intense, and I was really, really teary. And actually, a couple of my friends were teary as well, and I was like, this is obviously not just me. I love it. There's a crow outside. Oh my gosh. So they're still doing work, and you can see the skips. They are laying the road, so that's why it's a bit messy. But this is a beautiful park. There's the crows. It's always full of crows. This is going to be grass as well. This grass is just coming up here, but they've laid the seeds and everything, so it's all coming up. It's going to be a beautiful like play area for the kids and such. And then hopefully this will get a bit tidier. I just had to show you the crow because that was special. So there's always crows cawing, and I love it. I thought maybe I wouldn't have crows here, that they'd just be where the old house was, and then they wouldn't be here, but there are just loads of them, and I'm loving it. Also, there are some trees outside the house because this literally was just the countryside. It had some really established trees and they've not cut them down. So right opposite our house, we've got some beautiful, beautiful trees, and yeah, it's just lovely. So I think I've rambled enough. I would love to hear what your plans are for Samhain and or Halloween, depending on what you celebrate and how. If you've got any ideas that you're going to be doing for spell work, ritual, ancestor work, I'd love to hear from you. Also, I am so behind on comments, and I really do want to apologise for that and just say, look, I am going to get round to them. It is on my list. I'm not going to ignore the ones from a month or so ago that I have still not answered. So I will get round to that. It's just taking me a little bit of time to settle, and I hope that's okay. But yeah, no, I really appreciate all of the comments, the likes, the views. I just love being in this community and chatting with you all and getting to know everyone, and it's just been such a lovely thing for me in this last year, having this channel. And you know, I think I started the channel in November of last year, so to have come this far in a year, it's just been wonderful. And I just want to thank you very much. And I will be doing a giveaway. I did say that a few months ago. I said, you know, moving house, chaos, but there'll be a giveaway. There still will be a giveaway. So, you know, if you are keen to see that, then do subscribe. And if you're not already, you know, like and share the video, of course, if you enjoyed it and you think someone else would benefit from seeing this rather all over the place vlog with some witchy, spiritual, tarot-y things thrown in. I'm just all over the place at the moment, honestly. As I said, if you like the video, do click the thumbs up button, share it with anyone who you think would be interested in seeing it too. Also, if you want to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you can do so below. I'll leave my handles. And I also have a buy me a coffee page where you can buy me a coffee if you want to just say thank you for the content, and if you find anything useful, helpful, you know, that's really nice. But of course, that's not something you have to do. I'm just really grateful that you're here and spending some time with me. It's lovely to have you. And of course, if you've not yet subscribed, please do think about subscribing. By subscribing, of course, you can click the little bell notification, and that's how YouTube will let you know when I create and upload videos of all kinds, be it tarot, witchcraft, magic, spirituality, all kind of similar for me. But yeah, tarot, witchcraft, magic, spells or vlogs or witchy hauls or any of the content that I like to make. And you know, I'm open to suggestions as well if there's stuff that you guys want to see or learn about. So yeah, thank you again so much for joining me. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. Have a very blessed Samhain and a fun and safe Halloween. And I look forward to seeing you again in another video really soon. Take care. Bye. Mwah.